True. Nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous I have been and am. But why would you say that I am mad? The disease has sharpened my sense, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all this was sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then I am mad? Hearken and observe how healthfully, how calmly, and I can tell you all the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it held me day and night. Object there was none, passion there was no. I loved the old man. He had never won me. He had never given me insult. For this girl and I had no desire. I think his eye, yes, it was this. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so by degrees, very gradually, I make up my mind to take the life of the man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now is this the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen me how wisely I proceed, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation. I went to work. I was never candid to the old man that during the whole week before I killed him. And every night about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it. Oh, so gently. And then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in the dark lantern, all closed, that no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. It moved slowly, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within an opening so far that I could see him as laid upon his bed. Ha! Would a madman have been so wise as this? And then, when my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Oh, so cautiously. I undid it just so much that a single dim ray fell upon the vulture eye. And there is a thief for 7 long nights, every night just at midnight. But I found the eye was closed, and so it was impossible to do the work, for it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in hearty tone, and inquiring how he was passed the night. So he would never have been a very profound old man, indeed, to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looking upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. I watched minute hand more quickly than I did mine. Never before that night I have felt the actions of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that I was opening the door, little by little, I ought ever to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I felt shocked at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on bed suddenly and startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch, with thick darkness, and so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily. I have my head in, and I was so about to the lantern, when the thorn slipped upon in the fastening, and the old man standing in the open, crying out, "Who is there?" I kept quiet and still and saying nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle, and in the meantime I did not hear him lay down. He was still sitting up in the bed listening, just as I have done, night after night, hearkening to the dead watches in the wall. Presently I heard a slight groan, and I knew it was the groan of the mortal terror. It was not a groan of pain or grief. Oh no, It was just the love-sickle sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew the song well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world sleep, it was well up from my old bosom, depending with its dreadful echo, the terrors that distract me. I say I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt and pitying him, although it crude at heart. I knew he had been lying awake ever since the first light noise. When he had turned in bed, his fears had been ever since growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them cautiously, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It is nothing but the wine in the chimney. It's only a mouse crossing the floor." Or, "It is merely a cricket which made a single chirp." Yes, he had been trying to console himself with these suppositions, but he had found all in vain, because there, in approaching him, had stalking with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim, and it was the mournful influence of the unpreserved shadow that caused him to feel, although the night is out on earth, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length a simple dim ray, like the thread of the spider, shot from the surface and fell full upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with a perfect distinctness, all dull blue, with a hair's veil over in the shield and a very narrow in my bones, but I could see nothing else on the old man's face of person. I had directed a ray of the instinct precisely upon the damn spot, and I can tell you that a mistake of mine is, but it's over a cureness of sense. Now I say there was came to my ears a loud, dull, quick sound, such a watch makes when enveloping cotton. I knew the sound well too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased in my fury as the beating of a drum simulates the soldier into courage. But even then I refrained. I kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eve. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the hair increased. It grew quicker and quicker, louder and louder every instant. The almost terror must have been extreme, and grew louder, I say louder every moment. Do you mark me when I have to tell you that I am nervous? So I am. And now the dead hour of the night amid the dreadful silence of that old house, so strange a noise, and this excites me uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes longer I often stood still, but the beating grew louder. I thought the heart must burst, and now a new action designs me. The sound would be heard and by neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leapt into the room. He shrank once only. In an instant, I drummed him to the floor, pulling the heavy bed over him. I then smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. But for many minutes, the heartbeat of the with a muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. It would be heard me through the wall, and let me seize. The old man was dead. I removed the man and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it to very many minutes. There was no pulsation. He has stone dead. His eye was never troubled me no more. If you still think me mad, You will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for concealment of the body. The night one and I worked hastily but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the heads and the arms and the legs. And then I took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber and deposited all between the scattered lines. And then I replaced the board so cleverly, so cunningly, so no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood stopped forever. I had been too worried for that. I thought I'd call home. When I had made to the earth of flowers, it was 4 o'clock, and still dark as midnight. As the birds sounded in the hour, there came a knocking on the street door. I went down to open it with a light heart. For what did I have now to fear? There entered 3 men who introduced themselves with a perfect suavity as officers of the police. I should have been heard a neighbor during the night supposition of foul play had aroused information had belonged on the police office, and he had the power to search the premises. I smiled. From what I had to fear, I bid the gentleman welcome. The shriek I said was of my own dream. The old man I mentioned was absent into the country. It took my visitors over the house. I went in search and searched well. I led them, and led into the chamber. It showed the treasure secured undisturbed. In the enthusiasm of confidence, I brought chairs into the room and desired them here to rest from the fatigues, while I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced him. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted of my familiar things. But ere long I felt myself getting pale, and I wished them gone. My head ached, and my fiance ringing in my ears, but it's still there and said and still shut. The ringing became more distinct. It continued and became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of feeling, but it continued and gained definiteness, until at length I found the note was not within my ears. No, I thought I knew, grew very pale, but I can talk more friendlessly now with a hurting voice. Yet the sound increased, and what can I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, much sounds that I watched makes an enveloping cordon. I gasped for a breath, and yet the officers heard not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise still increased. I arose all the arched about trifles, and had keen violent gesticulations, but the noise still increased. Why will they not be gone? I paced the floor to the fro with a heavy stride, and excited to fury by the observation of them. But the noise still increased. Oh God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I greeted sitting, and created upon the boards. On the noise arose the inconsciently increase, continually increase. It grew louder, louder, and louder, and still the man shot pleasantly and smiled. What is possible? They hear not. Almighty God, oh no, oh no. They heard, they suspect, they knew. They are making a mockery of my horror. This is I thought, and this is I think. But anything was better than his agony. Anything more was tolerable than his derision. I could be most hypocritical smiles no longer. I feel that I must scream or die. And now again, hark louder, 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 louder. Villains, are wriggling and dissemble no more. I admit to the deed. Tear up the planks. Here, here, it is the beating of the Huron's heart.